Brand new tactic for you guys today, my 4-4-2 berserker. If you like scoring goals, maybe not bothered about conceding a few either, this tactic's definitely for you. Let's get right into it. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Anthony, aka Tuffy on the Tube. Brand new tactic for you guys today, 4-4-2 berserker. This tactic is a bit mental, I'll be honest. If you do follow my other videos, see my other tactics, you will have heard me say things like how I like balance, I would like to score more goals, concede very few. Forget all that. Completely gone against what I believe in and created an absolute monster. Loads of goals, do concede quite a few. Quite surprising for a 4-4-2. When I set this tactic up, I thought I would struggle to score goals. How I've created it has been the complete opposite. So we'll dive right in, show you some of the goals you can score with this tactic. I have made a few little tweaks. I'll show you kind of different versions as we go through. I'll also show you one I created that's not quite standard 4-4-2, although very similar. This is probably the kind of the balance to the chaos that I've created. So go through, show you the goals, show you how we finished in the league, show you the kind of obviously stats that go with that, and then we'll jump right at the tactic very quickly. I'll show you kind of 2 or 3 kind of other variations, very slight, not big changes, and kind of a tactic at the end that you can maybe implement if you want to calm things down a bit. As you can see there, quite a good variety of goals, quite central. Didn't show you many. I'm trying to keep this a little bit short due to kind of want to show you the tactic and a few variations. But like I say, saw kind of a bit of wide play as well, a little bit of kind of through balls through the middle, feeding those 2 strikers that we have up front. Like I say, bit of a crazy tactic this one, very wild, lots of goals scored. Too many conceded for my liking. Didn't feel very comfortable when I initially started the tactic. I think on one I scored over 100 goals. Conceded over 50, and like I said in previous videos, it's not only my style, but somehow I've created this kind of utter monster. Looking at the schedule, you can see not too bad. Few kind of good runs, you know, where we kind of scored goals and went on kind of good kind of winless streaks. A few disappointing kind of results overall. But if we look at the competitions, you can see we did finish second. Just obviously, it's very difficult to talk about Paris Saint-Germain in this league. We did pick Nice for the OGC Nice for our team. I forgot to mention that at the start. Sorry, but scheduled to finish 5th in the league. But as you can see, finished in second, 71 points, lost 7 in this save. Like I say, I did do 2 or 3. What I'll do is I'll talk you through this one because there was a couple of tweaks I did make. So, like I say, overall, not too bad. If you look at a little bit more detail, go to stages, league table. You can see there, played 34, won 22 of them, drew 5, lost 7, scored 90 goals. Bear in mind, only 6 behind Paris Saint-Germain. Not bad at all, I don't think, if you can kind of compete attack-wise with them, with the talent they've got. Against, though, we did concede 44 goals, but we do have a slightly aged defender in there as well, so maybe that was the problem. I think with a bit of improvement in defence, midfield, bring that bit of quality, obviously some kind of a good youth setup here at Nice as well, you know, maybe it's 2, 3, 4 seasons when you've really got that team solidly built together. You can maybe bring that down with this kind of tactic, may not be as brutal as conceding 44 goals in a season. Like you say, I mean, outside of the top 6, we're kind of looking at kind of from 7th down over, conceding kind of goals wise. So defending like a team, not in the top 7, but certainly attacking like a team, as you can see there in the top 3, very, very easily, almost on par with Paris Saint-Germain. Goal difference of 46, 71 points overall. Like you say, still 9 points clear of Monaco in 3rd place. So tactic done its job. Can't ask for more of that. And, you know, fun tactic. So you're not going to be bored with this one. But what I'll do is I'll probably go through this. I'll show you the tactic and I'll show you the couple of the variations that we looked at. But look at the data hub. As you can see, very different polygraph to what we normally see in my tactics. It is normally a little bit more balanced. Goals per game, average of 2.65. Conceded 1.29. So to be honest, I suppose on reflection, it's not that crazy, I suppose. I have created tactics that did do a lot better. Same variation. Quite surprised with the goals per game. I thought that would be slightly higher, around about 3, considering how many we scored over the season. I think playing 30-odd games. Yeah, 2.65. No, not too bad, I suppose. Expected goals is 2.43 per game. So it's good. You know, it's a goal scorer tactic. Like you see, we did concede 1.29 goals per game. Again, slightly better than I thought as well. I thought that would be slightly higher. Although we were expected to concede 1.21. So we are expected to, you know, concede at least a goal or higher per game. Shots per game though, 18.53. So maybe the conversion rate wasn't great. Again, shots on target is not fantastic either at 41.75. Well less than even 50% of the shots on target. Pass completion, decent though, at 87%. And tackles won, maybe it could be higher. That may have contributed to a bit of a leaky defence, hovering around 71% of tackles won. So certainly kind of areas we could look at to improve, delve a little bit deeper into. We may try and do that as we go through the tactic. So that's the kind of data hub. We'll look at the kind of squad and see what kind of stats we're looking at with our players. Start with the kind of goals scored. No, not bad initial kind of look. Striker there, Murphy on 16 goals for the season. Behind him, another striker, Laborde on 10. Diop, chip number 10, a winger, or played out on the wing. Then you've got to see a fairly good range of kind of other players chipping in as well, from 7s, 6s, 5s. So varied kind of goal scoring, kind of goal scored spread across the team. Assist wise, again, probably 12 for Sanson, centre midfielder by the looks of it. Baudouin, 9. Once again, fairly evenly spread across the team. Quite like to see that. At least, you know, we're not just relying on one area of the pitch to get kind of assists. Along with the goals, everyone seems to be chipping in. That probably lends itself to the aggressiveness of the tactic. Kind of midfielders getting into the box there, kind of wide players, strikers as well, which there were 2 of them, obviously, with a 4-4-2. So, good to see. Quite happy with that. And I kind of tend to think, you know, if you play this for 2 or 3 seasons, you want to play this kind of tactic, you always look to strengthen and build and get better, bring better players in. So, you expect better performances the more you play the game 2 or 3 seasons in. So, you can probably reduce the kind of goals conceded and maybe try to improve your scoring rate even more with the kind of a better quality of player. Like I say, we're expected to finish 5th and we finished 2nd. So to the tactic then, my 4-4-2 berserker. This is the original one, I believe. Like I said, I did loads of variations. The first one I created, it scored over 100 goals, although I did concede something like 55 goals or something. It was just ridiculous. And all I did was pretty much have the box-to-box midfielder as an advanced playmaker. That was the only difference. So I kind of dialed it back a little bit. Made a few other tweaks, obviously, but yeah, I was a little bit too wild even for me, I think, there. I think having all that kind of poor defence and conceding lots of goals. So we'll jump straight into the tactic. Like you say, it's 4-4-2 berserker. Starting with the goalkeeper here. Sweep the keeper on support. There was times I dropped this to defend. Pick either or for yourselves, whichever you choose. You want to dial it back, it's not going to make much difference, but maybe you haven't got a sweep keeper of great quality. Draw him back to a defensive kind of style keeper. Got him on take more risks, which I didn't realise I had. Maybe that comes with sweep keeper and support. Maybe why again we conceded quite a few goals. So on the right hand side of defence end, switch these to full backs. Did toy with the wing backs again, far too aggressive. I think that was maybe another thing I had on with me 90-odd goal, over 100 goal a season. Probably a little bit too much. Got these on sit narrower, tackle harder. Very simple PIs there. 2 centre-backs, exactly the same. Central defender, quite simply on tackle harder. 2 of them there. Dante and Tadibo were kind of the players on here. Fantastic player, him. Never really kind of signed him for any other Football Manager savers, but now I know about him. I may keep an eye out for him. Dante, obviously 40 years of age. Fantastic kind of stats. Obviously the pace of a kind of a slug, but he's getting on a bit there now. I mean, I'm 44, so I certainly probably would fit in that category, although without the rest of the ability. Fullback on the left is Bard. You see great stats there. 7 assists as well from him in that position. Exactly the same. Fullback though, sitting out tackle harder. Same with Dante as well, just tackle harder on there, centre back. Now into the midfield, you'll notice 2 wide playmakers and 2 box-to-box midfielders. Double up on both. Definitely kind of creates a lot of chances. The wide playmakers, both on attack, quite simply tackle harder. You can see plenty of already built-in PIs on there for them to do their job. Both of them exactly the same, left and right. They're both in there, Budeu and Diop. 2 fantastic players as well. 2 box-to-box midfielders. Like I say, I did have an advanced playmaker on this one here. Very aggressive. Will get you even more goals. Maybe an idea if you're at home. Likewise, with your defenders, pop these on ball-playing defenders. Maybe pop in as an advanced playmaker on attack or a central midfielder. Just to kind of really drive home them goals at home. Be careful against teams that maybe counter-attack, because you are going to be really, really aggressive. But certainly teams that like to maybe step up, push that high line, you can probably find I've good success with. When I did this tactic, I did find I had great success with against Paris Saint-Germain even. At times I did beat them. I think you may see that as well in the other couple of versions I've done. But quickly moving on, so 2 box-to-box midfielders, quite simply, tackle harder. You can add extra additional PIs. You want to be more aggressive in the passing. Maybe have one slightly defensive and one maybe like Thuram with his kind of ability. Maybe kind of more expressive passing, kind of get further forward maybe. Have him some more slightly aggressive. May not be a bad option. And simply up top, 2 advanced forwards. Very simple, double up on everything. And all I had on there was basically moving the challenge, whatever was there, the PI was. No additional PIs. If you can maybe try and dial it back a bit and have them shoot less often, I was creating a lot of chances. Maybe that's why obviously the shots on target was below 50%. Maybe having that a little bit more refined, take the time over the shots, along with obviously maybe work ball in the box, which I'll show you in a second. So that's basically the premise of the team. Fairly simple, very little instructions overall, PIs. Again, if you take this tactic on, you may be able to refine that a little bit more, spot areas where you can make it a little bit better, put a few PIs on it, maybe defensively, even add a few more that makes it even more aggressive in the attack. So positive mentality as always, in possession, attacking with fairly narrow, pass into space, focus play through the middle. Again, we can have options to maybe try down left and right. We're using them wide playmakers. I chose to focus through the middle because I had a decent midfield as well. And I kind of thought in my mind they'd always have the option of those kind of really good players on the wide as well, kind of running in the channels, looking for the ball. And I think that's maybe why we created so many chances. Play out of defence, passing directness is shorter, tempo slightly higher, again, maybe a slightly better team, crank that right up to kind of the max, to higher. Low crosses. Now I had work ball in the box off. You could click that and have that on. Again, maybe that contributed to the lack of shots on target percentage. Mess about with that, see if you can maybe help you kind of create them kind of, I don't know, more shots on target, create more goals. I found that I seemed to have less chances and I wasn't scoring as many either. But that was just me. So I left that off and it seemed to work. And run at defence. Again, there's an option to maybe take that off, try to be more expressive, experiment with that. But that just seemed to work for me in this tactic. In transition then, on this one I had actually counter press and regroup off. Not that aggressive, so I wanted to kind of keep the shape. I didn't want them kind of running around because I was already quite aggressive, quite high up the pitch, to not kind of run around and go crazy. So I wanted to hold that little bit of shape. Seemed to work for me. I'll show you a different little version in a second, but yeah, I did have counter on. So once we got the ball, quick counter, distribute quickly, distribute the centre backs, take short kicks. So out of possession then, we had that much higher defensive line, high press, and just prevent short goalkeeper distribution with a much more often trigger pass. So that, all in all, it was the main tactic what I used. So what I'll do is I'll quickly shoot over, show you the couple of other variations, and then we'll kind of talk more about them. So this is kind of the second kind of tactic I created. Very kind of similar to the last. The only little difference I done here, I just tried this one with the counter press on. Again, it's pretty much exactly the same. I don't think there's any major changes in this one other than that. I just wanted to see what happened if I was a little bit more aggressive out of possession. Just looking at the kind of, just to show you, competition-wise, very similar, I believe. Only lost 4. So to be fair, lost less matches. 74 points, so 3 more points than what we previously had. Just go on to stages there. Yeah, so lost only 4. Again, away to Paris Saint-Germain. Drew them at home. Scored 86, so scored less than the last tactic, strangely. But bizarrely, maybe not bizarrely, but we did concede less, only 35. So not bad. Like I say, a little bit more defensive, I suppose. But you're only giving away, 4 goals in that as well. So I think we probably conceded some like 10 less, I believe. And then, yeah, only scored 4 less. So might be an option to maybe be a little bit more aggressive in the kind of transition, maybe. Counter press probably did work. So moving on to the next one then, just quickly. So this one, again, no major differences. Like I say, we did have exactly the same counter, a very kind of, I took the counter press off in this one again. Much higher line engagement, exactly the same. This one I had get stuck in, so another slight subtle difference. Exactly the same in the possession. Tactic wise, the only difference, I tried a winger this time for this tactic. No other changes in kind of the team. I did add a few PIs on box to box midfielder. Get further forward, tackle harder. So I made Sanson a little bit more aggressive on this one. Other than that, there was no other changes. Like I say, I will put these on my Discord when I get a chance. I'll put all 3 versions up there so you can kind of grab what you want and have a mess around with yourself. But competition-wise, we'll have a little look. Game, we lost 7 on this one. 71 points, pretty much the same. Goal difference of 38 this time. So if I just have a look at a little bit more detail. So yeah, actually scored 92. So really good. Again, only 6 behind Paris Saint-Germain. So we're up there with goals scored, but conceded a lot more, 54. Yeah, so knocking on the door of that 100 goals a season. But yeah, conceded a hell of a lot. Quite surprised. I thought the winger would be a bit more defensive maybe. So maybe there's actually something in that kind of counter press. Maybe it's worth having that on. Kind of our thought having that was kind of keep me a little bit more defensively solid. But looking at that may not have been the case. Experiment, like you say, with the tactics if you get a chance. See what you think. See what you can kind of get out of it. So the last one I'll quickly show. Let me know what you think. As you can see, I've kind of gone for the 4. I suppose 4-2-2-2. Could argue, but it is for all intents and purposes a 4-4-2. I think. Like you can see what I've done there. Drop the DM on support. Thuram is a deep line playmaker. Let's quickly go through these. Tackle harder. Again, I didn't mess around too much with the PIs. Exactly the same. Very simple. Sit narrow, tackle harder. Tackle harder. Yeah, sit narrow, tackle harder. Shoot less often. Tackle harder for the DM. Tackle harder for the deep line playmaker. On this one, I'd have a deep line forward. Again, no additional PIs. And an advanced forward with no additional PIs either. Wide playmaker is exactly the same. On this one, yep, exactly the same. Pretty much no changes there in the possession. In transition, I did have a counter press on again. Counter, distribute quickly, exactly the same. This time, distribute the full box as well. Take short kicks, exactly the same. So a couple of changes. If you can see them there, if you want to try this one. And again, out of possession, exactly the same. So quick looking at that. Again, finished second on 78 points this time. Probably our best kind of points. Drew a lot less. Lost 6 still. So looking at stages. Yeah, so conceded only 79, probably our worst goal scoring, but only goal scored 79, probably our worst, but conceded only 33. That was probably our best. So good defensively, still get you those goals, still scoring just under 80 goals a season. That's not bad. Lost 6 and drew 3. But all in all, not a bad tactic. Certainly one that you may, want to use, get away from home, maybe defend a lead. But to me, it could be a tactic you could use for the whole season. Clearly, it does the job. It's not too bad. So that's the tactic all in all. Like I say, obviously, thank you very much for watching yet again. So if you are enjoying these tactics, please drop a like if you can. It does help the channel growing bit by bit. Still pushing for those 100 subscribers. So if you could subscribe as well, that would be amazing. But like I say, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what tactic you want to see next, if any. So like I say, once again, thanks for watching. Bye for now.